from today, all the things that I saw. I think from here on out, it's going to be dozens of ideas per day. Whereas today, yeah, just a handful. So, kind of a quiet Monday, not quiet for, your average Monday, but in comparison to the rest of this week, I think today was actually kind of a quiet day. All right, so let's start with the market. All right, but let's go and we'll go ahead and get started here. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for November 4th, 2019. Qs gapped up today, all-time highs, gapping up about, and going to close here about 0.6%, SPY up 0.3, showing a little bit of relative weakness here. We're going on, the third week in a row, maybe, of bullish bias here. We've been bullish since we failed on this sell setup here. So, yeah, going to be 3 weeks in a row now of bullish bias. We're basing here, and then we broke out. And so we're going to continue the bullish bias going into tomorrow. Would like to see a pullback, but bullish bias remains. We're just keeping that bullish bias until we see some kind of change in the hourly. You can see the hourly uptrend has been intact there, nice and strong, continuing. We've had some pullbacks, right? So not the best time to be initiating new longs, but overall market bias still remains higher. So, nothing too different here on the daily chart. We've just been marching higher, grinding our way higher on that hourly chart. All right, so going into tomorrow, bullish bias remains same as the last few weeks. All right, so let's get into the ideas that we have from today. Let's take a look at the short ones first. SYK given as an idea right at the open to be played 206 by 207. This was acquiring someone. All right, and then right there, 2-minute high-low, and then made its way down to 202. Here's that 2-minute high-low. Just keep in mind, especially during this time of the year when we're getting a lot of gaps, you can see this didn't actually open for the first couple minutes. All right, so that second bar there is where we got the numbers from, 206 by 207. Got all the way down to 202, so max around 4 hours depending on where you got filled. All right, on the SYK, and one that was really, really nice multiple times here. We did go over this in the afternoon as well, right? We had multiple breakdowns. I thought the 5-minute gave some really nice opportunities in here. These are all right. These personally aren't my type of entries here because that's too strong on the retracement. A little bit of a double top there. I like that once that downtrend is really convincing, you have a couple breakdowns there to go after. UAA staying pretty weak. Nice gap down on disappointing earnings there. Right, staying pretty weak there. So nice move there on the UAA. Okay, so those were a couple of the really nice short ideas that set up. All right, now for the longs, we had the FDX was gapping up. All right, had a nice breakout right there. That was over 162.50. Okay. Went up to 165, right into a little bit of void created from that gap down. So gapping up, market gapping up, but this gapping up more and had some room higher. MRVL, another pro gap up, had a nice 5-minute pullback and then a base right in there. On this one, over 43 by 23 or 25. Yeah, by 25. This one you could have been in all day as well. Nice hourly right intact there. So going over that setup there, kind of a 2-minute pullback and then kind of a base. Gave you a much cleaner pattern on the 5. So 5-minute base breakout. Nice little base breakout there. TWOU also set up a base breakout. We did go after this as well, but we did get shaken out of this one. So right idea there, you can see did get up to 2160, but timing was wrong. So we did kill this early as it put in that topping tail. And it's probably a good thing that we did. Probably would have taken some slippage on the way out, but I didn't replay it. Was okay to replay. Notice the bar that got us out, didn't get any follow through. I just didn't like the way it traded. I thought it was a little bit sloppy. I thought this amount of basing, nice tight bars, if it wasn't going to follow through there, it was going to be a difficult one to hold, but it eventually did get up there to new highs. So TWOU really the only one here that did not get to the target there. And then the JD a couple times. I got to show you this weekly because this weekly is a thing of beauty. Look at that weekly. Breaking out over resistance, taking the lid off here. Very, very nice. Okay to watch this one for a longer term trade as well, but when the longer term is setting up nicely and then you get an intraday also setting up nicely, those usually lead to big moves. You can see this was trying to consolidate in here. A couple topping tails on the 1 minute looks even nicer. And then even here in the afternoon, nice 15-minute base and then broke out from there. Not a huge play, but right direction there. So a lot of stuff today for a Monday, telling me that, and I mean, you can just tell from the companies that are reporting earnings this week, that things are going to be pretty packed. Okay. So, just to keep in mind, it's okay to be picky this week. I think there'll be a lot of things. You just don't want to start settling on the very first thing that you see. And just kind of going after that and kind of making a mess of things. So there will be lots of things to go after. And I think there'll be plenty of things to trade all day. As you can see, like some of this stuff, like the UAA, like I said, this is not really my play. Although, shorting it up here would have yielded an even better entry. This didn't really set up until lunch and after lunch. SYK was at the open. JD set up in the morning and in the afternoon. TWOU didn't get going until after the morning. MRVL didn't get going until after the morning. FedEx was at the open. So, like I said, I think we'll have things to go after pretty much all day. All right. So you just want to make sure that you know what you're looking for and you prioritize what you're going after. All right, because I think there'll be opportunities all day. I think we saw that last week as well. I think some of the afternoon plays ended up being some of the best plays of the week. So, at the open, of course, there should be some good opportunity. And then, during this time of the year with all these gaps, with all these things moving, we should be able to find some nice patterns to play in the afternoon. All right, so I did make a video last week on how to trade the afternoons to kind of help you pinpoint what to look for, right? So, and how to know which ones, what setups you're looking for. All right. Hopefully, though, overall, you know what you're going after. If you're still kind of not sure what strategies, what things you should be playing long, short, when you should be getting in, what the timing should be, there is a link in the description to a replay of the webinar for the turnaround formula. I've been getting really nice feedback on the turnaround formula on how much it's been able to help traders, especially experienced traders. I think that's who's getting the most out of it. People who kind of have some strategy, some entries in mind, but kind of working on kind of the mental health and the kind of philosophy, the approach to trading, right, to make sure that you can do it consistently. So, that's really who it was geared towards, although I tried to make it as complete as possible. Basically, you could start from ground zero. The focus is for experienced traders as much as possible. And I think in the later chapters is what I'm getting a lot of the best feedback on. So check that out if you're struggling a little bit, if you feel like you just need a little bit of an adjustment to turn things around. You can check out the webinar from or the replay from the webinar in the description, and that'll also take you to the program. You can find out more information. Okay, but all of these setups, all these ideas covered, right? These kind of strategies covered in the program. All right, but hopefully you had a nice weekend, nice and rested and focused for a really busy week. All right, so that'll do it for today's market wrap. All right, we're going to go into tomorrow, same bias that we've had for the last few weeks. All right, with a focus on the earnings reports and the gaps and the opportunities that we're going to get throughout the day and throughout the week. All right, so best of luck with your trading, and I will talk to you tomorrow.